Here are the items you're going to need. Some soapy water and towel to wash the card down. Some soft paper towel and some paper and tape. Now, this is the clear coat I like to use. It's very good. It's a two-part. You can put a spray cap on it or just use it the way that it is. Make sure you have a respirator. Okay. Sandpaper, 1000 grit and 2000 grit. Okay, here is where I worked on my wife's car on the previous video, and there were some areas that I wasn't 100% satisfied with, like this spot right here, and then this lower part of the bumper. The first part that I showed you came out really good, and I was very happy with it, but this section and the lower section, not so much. And it's only because I was afraid to sand it. So I'm going to show you. This portion here worked out very well, and I'm going to show you, which I'm making a correction because I said that if you got to it early. I don't believe that. I believe I needed to sand better. Let's look at this. Okay, well, as you've seen from the other video, I had 3 different areas. Okay, this one wasn't real bad, came out beautiful, looks like new. This one was bad, and it looks okay. I just showed you a close-up, and what had happened, I was worried about sanding too much. I know I said in the other video, looked like that, you know, if you got to it early, but the more I've looked at this, I believe what it was is that I was afraid to sand. Okay, so I started with 1000 grit, and I was worried I was sanding paint away, and once the clear coat was done, it was very obvious I didn't. I was only sanding the clear coat. So I'm going to redo these 2 areas because this was very bad, and you saw where I just showed you, I can even feel the clear coat that's still high. Okay, this one's not as bad, but everything looks very, very good. My wife was happy with it, but I want to bring it back to as good as this, and I believe that I can. So I'm going to do the process again in these 2 areas, except I'm going to sand in the areas that I can feel right now a little more than I did the first time. Okay, now you can go back to the other video showing how to do all the process. I'm going to go ahead and start to sand, and then I'm going to paper it real quick, and then I'm going to do the clear coat in the same process that I did before, and hopefully, and I believe that it will, because again I can feel the difference. Okay, I couldn't feel it when I was sanding before, and I was concerned of sanding too much. Okay, so let's have at it. Okay, this time I've elected to start with a 400 grit, and as I go through this, then I'm going to go to the different grits to bring it down to where I want it.
And I'm hitting the high areas only right now, because I know my lower areas that the clear coat had been removed is where I was worried about sanding through the paint. And now I don't have to worry because I have clear coat on it, and I can hit all the high areas a little harder than I did before.
Okay, now I go to 1000 grit. Now 2000 grit. Now 2500. Okay, now it's all sanded, it's all very smooth, and I'm going to go ahead and paper it up, get ready to spray. Okay, now I've got everything masked off because I'm just doing this top area, and I'm doing this here. These were the two that didn't come out as good as I'd liked. That one came out perfect, okay? And I thought it was because I caught that sooner than these. That was not bad. This was getting really bad, and this one was really bad. But now I'm correcting it and sanding the way I needed to, that I didn't know that I had to before. All right, now you see how I papered this up with the blue towel? You can see that in the other video. I explained why I do it this way, but what it is so that when I spray, it doesn't leave a sharp line. I just tape it and I fold it over, and it won't give me a sharp line. It'll fog it in. Okay, now this is the product that I like to use. It works extremely well. Okay, it's a two-part clear. You need to shake it for 2 minutes. Then you've got to activate it with this red top, which I'll show you. And then shake it 2 minutes more. So I want to be accurate with it. I don't want to do it any less. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer. Okay, now I've shook it for 10 minutes. Now you pull this red cap, okay? You put it here on the bottom, okay? Then push it down. Okay, now shake it for another 2 minutes. Okay, remember, do what the instructions say. And you should be wearing a respirator if you do this, especially if you do it in your garage or elsewhere. I'm outside, okay? And so I'm going to stay away from any which way it's blowing, although we have a nice calm day. There's plenty of ventilation. All right, if you're doing this in your garage or warehouse, wherever, put on a respirator. You're gonna need it. Okay, so we're gonna do the first coat. In the first coat, I'm going to do a light coat quickly, okay? Then you wait 10 minutes. Be about 10 inches away. Okay, that's the first coat. Be back in 10 minutes. Okay, about 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to put coat number 2 on. You can go just as quickly with the second coat. You may want to slow it down a little, but okay, that's coat number 2. We got to wait another 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Now we're going to do the third coat. Now I'm going to put the third coat on a little heavier. And I'm going to slow the movement down and go over it twice. Okay, now we need to let it dry, but more than that, it needs to sit for 2 hours before I can take off the paper. Okay, here you go. It came out absolutely beautiful. I just sanded heavier in the areas that were raised, and now this whole front end looks like new. It came out awesome. So my correction is, yes, you can make it all look very good. Building with Papa. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell.